Hello, everyone. My name is Michelle Stone.
I'm Jenna Rose.
And we are the Underground Music Collective. Welcome back to another episode of Fun and Games. We are joined today by a very special guest. You want to go ahead and introduce yourself, Mr. Gabe?
Sure. Hey, guys. My name is Gabe Baker. I am from Texas. I'm a Texas born and raised fellow. But I live in Nashville as of last year. I'm a musician. I'm a songwriter. I'm a cellist. Yeah, that's my quickest intro. A lot more to say.
There's a lot packed in there.
Yeah, there's a lot to unpack here. So I'm super excited to sit down with you. So you came across my radar at Nashville Tour Stop. Shout out Aaron, who we also have interviewed.
So many of our artists we
Yeah.
discover at Nashville Tour Stop.
That's good.
Yeah, we sat down with Aaron and interviewed. You can watch that on YouTube
will.
if you want to take a gander. That's a really funny episode.
It's a great
episode. But I saw you, and like I was telling you before we started on camera, you were just like a ray of shining light. And playing the cello, looking how you look, you're beautiful. like you look, you'd be like a linebacker and play football.
Close.
Really?
I was a safety, a defensive back.
You were. I would believe that.
Oh, yes.
But I remember just sitting there and I was mesmerized, and I was like, "Who is this man's?" Like, I've never seen you or heard of you, so I'm super excited that you actually like made the time to come in and talk to us.
Yes.
We are playing a game we've played on Fun and Games before called Two Truths and a Lie. For those of you that didn't tune in to our last episode of that, and for those of you that haven't been playing drinking games before, it's where you basically say three things and people have to guess which one of the three is the lie. So since we all don't really know much about each other, me and Jenna know a lot about each other, but still there's a lot we don't know. We're all going to guess what it is. So I'm going to go first before we get down to the gritty nitty about you. Let me think. So two truths and a lie. I have scuba dived in Peru. I have eaten a whole bag of Cool Ranch Doritos in one setting.
Very doable.
And I have thrown up on a friend's mattress.
Those are both.
I'm gonna go last. I'm gonna let you go first.
Now, the reason those all sound extremely feasible things.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna choose the bag of Doritos mainly because it could be a small detail of like, I've not eaten the Cool Ranch, but I've eaten the original flavor one. So that I'm gonna guess that as the lie. That's my guess.
I'm gonna go with the throwing up on a friend's mattress.
You're both wrong.
Oh, dang it.
I've never scuba dived in Peru. That would be so fun. I'm glad that I fooled you on that, though, because I put the Cool Ranch thing in there because I was like,
Yeah.
he's going to think that that's a lie because it's so, like,
Specific.
It's very detailed. Yeah, it's very specific.
Yeah. Okay, Gabe, so you're from Texas. You kind of gave
Yeah.
us a little introduction. Tell us, like, a little bit more about your music background, and even before that, you mentioned you played football. So kind of just, let people know.
Ooh, okay. Yes. Thank you again for having me. Born in Dallas, raised in San Antonio, really tight-knit family, two awesome parents, the youngest of three.
Wow. You're a baby.
I'm the baby of the family, and grew up in a very musical household. Both my parents are great singers. Mom played the violin, the piano,
Wow.
and both also athletes. And then they were both. There's a lot of things to be said. So when someone asks me like, "What's your journey?" I'm like, "Okay, what's the best angle to start out?" But I definitely start with my family. I tell people I'm nothing but a reflection of the grace of God and just who my parents are, and the way my family kind of just curated our household. And so growing up in San Antonio, my parents were in the full-time Christian ministry, and then they just allowed us to be kids in the midst of like having this household that was around love and like responsibility and so that allowed me to explore just wanting to be an athlete, but also getting into the music side. My sister is the eldest sibling. She picked up the violin, and then my older brother picked up the upright bass. And
so everybody in your family plays.
Everyone plays. Me and my brother are both the more musical ones. My sister didn't stop playing, I think, after high school, and so she's musical. We always tell she's always one that kind of denies her musicality of all of us, but yeah, so that was, I picked up the cello in the 4th grade, and that was kind of my first step into music. But that was along with, gratefully playing sports and doing a bunch of different things. And then just through grade school, it was kind of this combination of doing both, which was really cool. I was grateful to have developed just a great friend group on like in the orchestra sides and all my little string ensembles I was playing in. And then also on the sports sides where I was playing football, I was playing soccer, basketball, running track.
Wow.
It was really, I think back on my childhood, and that's like, it's just like a divine just experience that I'm trying to take for granted. I learned so much. I just a really, really special childhood. And yeah, leaving, I played the cello, 4th grade all the way through high school.
So you're in band.
And orchestra.
Right.
And so, but we
What's
played
the
in the
difference?
symphony. Band is more, it has more, brass instruments and woodwinds. Orchestra is just string instruments.
That makes a lot of sense.
Violin, viola.
I was a band
bass.
geek.
Oh, you're a band geek.
Yeah,
Okay.
snare.
We have a lot of love for the band geeks.
We're ruling the world now.
Ruling the world.
No, we are, yeah, us nerds.
Is that? Oh, that's right. The nerds. Okay, I thought you were talking about the band geeks. I was like, wait, what does that
I
mean?
guess
How's
cohesively
it
the
happen?
same, yeah.
Yeah, that's about the same. Yeah. No, that's true. It's
I have a question though, like, so in
unified force.
Texas,
Yeah.
being in Texas, was there like more of a push to be kind of a football player? Because I know your parents
That's
embraced
true.
it fully,
Yeah.
but like, were people
Yeah,
more
for
like,
sure.
you're playing the cello? You can be a football player. Like, you could run and be like on the,
It's
you know.
real.
I was going to say NBA. I don't know sports. NFL,
The thing.
NHL.
That's right. Oh, yeah. When we first met at Alley Tops, I feel like we had a conversation of you have a cheat sheet of your NFL.
You remember?
I remember that specifically because I thought that
yeah.
was so quirky. I was like, oh wow.
I do. I have a little cheat sheet of get him in the digs and the ball. That's a lot like Leslie Jones used to play.
It's like when
And
you're
I'm
watching a
like,
game.
I'm like,
you
I have
can
no. I remember I was
sound
at a bar
relevant.
once and I used that, and the guys were like talking. I was like, yeah, and they're like, right, and I was just like, yeah. I don't know what I'm talking about.
There you go.
But that's all you need to know because the football players talk so specifically. Like when you watch a game, you're like,
if I ever tried that, it would be like so. I mean, I could probably say that line like I knew what I was talking about, but it would be instant. Like I would be called out immediately.
you just gotta
because
say
I
with
You're a
confidence.
fraud.
Yeah, but I would be because I literally have no idea, like no reference point at all, and like no
hard to hide
no
that.
idea. And
Yeah.
so if I would like I probably would have the wrong facial expression.
See, I just sit back and
Like-
I'm like, yeah, man, I really fumbled with the ball. It's a lot like Leslie Jones used to play, you know? And they're like,
It's like,
Dude,
wow, you're actually
dude,
right.
this girl knows what she's talking about.
That's what she said. Yeah. I love
Now
it.
I gave away my secret, and I'm gonna be out
would
some
not
hours.
work for
I'm
me.
sorry I outed you. That's right. Now when everyone
I don't
sees
think
you watching-
anybody that probably is at a bar watching football is gonna be watching this, but I could be wrong.
Yes. So, to the football point, Texas is known for its strong love and religious love for football almost. And I'm grateful it's that while there was like an incredible culture of like, I was exceeding in football and like, play football, but I was grateful to have just an open support system and maybe just like the personal self, I guess, security to do both. I really felt accepted to do both, and I was doing well doing both. And so, while I was doing it, and there was space. I give credit. So like I had some great teachers and coaches that allowed me just to. Sometimes things would conflict, but a lot of the times it just worked,
That's incredible.
And so
Yeah, having a support system like that, like with your teachers and your family like that is so, like you're so lucky.
yeah,
it's
So many
unique.
people don't get to have that, and it's so
important.
It's especially special when it's somebody who really excels in those areas, because imagine if you didn't have that and you wouldn't have gotten to.
No, 100%.
Football player that plays cello, I think that's like definitely like rare. It's like finding an emerald in a stack of pennies or something.
That's fair. I'm glad to be the emerald. Thank you.
You play football, and that's my birthstone actually. May.
Oh,
What's
is
your
it?
birthstone? Do you know your birthstone?
I don't know it. I'm in October.
October. I think
End
that's
of October.
Onyx. Maybe I'm wrong.
I don't remember. I should know this.
Well,
but
if
I
you
don't.
know what this is, like birthstones, comment and tell us what
Mine is
October
Aquamarine.
29th.
I know that.
Yours
March.
is
March is aquamarine. That's
Aquamarine, yeah.
Okay.
I remember the emerald.
Yeah,
I was
my
like, oh,
birthday.
emerald, that feels so me. But I feel like you can relate it to, if anything is related to you, it's kind of like the astrological signs where people are like, oh, it's me. I'm like, well, I mean, you can really relate anything to
You
if
can
you
pick
try
out the
hard
things
enough.
that are,
That's
yeah.
real.
If you're like, well,
Yeah.
blah, blah, this says this, you're like, I mean, yeah, if I think about it hard enough, like,
They're general enough to
They're
something
general-
about it will
resonate, yeah.
it will
That's real.
resonate with you.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So, I want to,
Yeah.
like, we talked a little bit about your background growing up. Obviously, you had, like, a good base to start off of, which is why you're so well-rounded now. You said you're working on a lot of co-writing stuff, a lot of sessions. I know I just saw you on the Songhouse,
Yeah.
which I just came across. I don't know if you've
Oh,
seen that
cool,
yet,
cool.
but it's where they write a hit song in under 30 minutes, and it's incredible because, like, it's a whole vibe of people
Yeah.
just, like, singing and, like, it's just such good energy. Like, so
is.
tell us, like, a little bit about your projects lately and what you've been working on.
Yeah, so I moved out here last year from Texas, and that's a whole nother story of, like,
Oh, you
what led
just
me to
moved
that.
here?
Yeah, I've just been here a little over a year.
Ah.
July of
Me
2020, I
too.
moved out here.
Uh,
And
April of 2020.
oh, congrats!
Yeah,
COVID,
you too.
COVID moves.
Yeah.
Moves
Yeah.
on.
Born and
Real
raised.
exciting.
Born and raised in the COVID area. Joking,
Born and
sorry. Not
raised
born
in
and raised.
Nashville, Tennessee.
That's right. You're born and raised.
Yeah,
That's sick.
yeah.
That's
we're-
great.
That's sick, bro.
That's sick, bro.
That's sick, bro. You want to go play some hacky sack?
That's they call you the unicorns, being the
Oh,
native.
God,
It's funny
I
the people
know.
that they call like native Nashville.
It's so funny being out at bars because especially now that I don't drink, like I was out the other night with a friend and there was a drunk girl that came up to me and she was like, "Oh, you're born and raised in Nashville too?" And I was like, "Yeah." She was like, "We're totally unicorns, right?"
Yeah,
And
it's such a
I
funny
was
term.
like,
It's like you guys are.
I was like,
you
no,
have that thing
we're
tattooed.
not.
But to slightly backstep, I went to college for football, so I played football in college, and then I didn't do much with cello. But post college,
Scholarship or
play on scholarship at Rice University in Houston. I wear my Rice ring all the time, and so we did a lot of fun stuff there. And then so I never really lived a full music life until like last year. I was always more just a hobby. And my brother went to school for music, and he was like he went the music route, went the sports route. And we were doing some collaboration stuff, but literally there's a lot of things that really turned over. Sadly, my mom passed away at the end of 2019, and then my brother, he's been kind of estranged since then. And so a lot of things just flips upside down. And
that's a lot of change.
opened up a lot of and then in the midst of that, I went on this random Bachelor show called Listen to Your Heart, if you've heard of that show. The Bachelor did a music spin-off show.
No
And
way.
I jumped on that show.
Wow.
And so this combination of
So
like,
you're single.
that is still true.
So you're saying you're single is what you're telling us right now.
And I promise you I'm going to answer your question about like the Songhouse stuff. But I figured you...
I love it.
So you're single. That is true. That is
Put your hand on your
where
heart.
I'm at.
That's where you go, oh. You play football, cello, and you're single.
But it's been, so that was like right before COVID hit, and so my life was completely different than when I normally was just used to in so many ways, and so being on that one show and being in a new place emotionally, just living through grief, living through all these different things, really opened up a door to really give life to music in my life for like the first time. And so I literally right before COVID really came into full swing, I was like, hey, I really need to give music a full-time shot. So started working from home, was just writing and practicing. This was in Houston. I moved up from Houston. That's where my parents moved from San Antonio, and met a great music team in Austin, started collaborating kind of weekend kind of travel times up there with just a couple people, which was my first expression of like co-writing and being in a studio and like being a musician. And I met one great friend. His name is Tyler Ward, who we were all part of kind of the Songhouse thing, and he was my first like real solid friend here in Nashville. And
Shout out
to my man Tyler. He's also my landlord. And so in short, I made just the decision like, hey, I really want to move somewhere. I've been in Houston for 10 years. Was ready to go in a new place. I was like, all right, I'm going to either go to Austin or Nashville. Austin was a little too easy. I had family there. I was like, let me go to Nashville. It's a new spot. I've only been there once.
This is so funny. It's like everything that you're saying is so reflective of my story on how I got here too. Just a different version of it.
That's
but
dope.
I'm just like loving listening to it. Because
I feel
it's,
like too, like you're like you've just been through like a really big transformation. So like moving to a new place and then having such a dramatic thing happen with your mom, which is in itself changes you entirely.
Yeah.
And then you're going from you played football in college to now you're like, I'm just going to embrace this music thing. Having something so grief-stricken happen before you decide to embrace music, how did that affect your music?
It has everything to do with what I'm doing musically. And it's the kind of the ironic thing.
Because she was a musician, your mother.
My mom was. She wasn't a full-time musician, but she was just extremely musical. And so all of her family is all very musical. And so it's just part of our family, which is awesome. And so me doing what I'm doing now is like something that my mom always wanted me and my brother to really do, like just to go and live, just do music, you know? So it's like a really cool thing of like,
It's beautiful.
really really feeling like she's here with me, but also wanting her to be physically here. And it's just it's a crazy thing. So the way I write, all the things I do now is an incredible reflection of like going through the grief of loss, which is really, really weird. And so a lot of colors have come through it. And so to your question of like all the products I'm working on, I'm getting to that question that you asked me like a million minutes ago. It has everything to do with my journey of getting here. And when I moved out here in July, moved in at my buddy Tyler's place, and I was like, hey, I have no clue what I'm doing. First time not having a traditional work life. I'm living the freelancing life. Let me just meet people and grow my craft. And so community and growing in my craft were like my two big prayers, my two big things I was focusing on.
To manifest.
And that's exactly. And so that's really turned over quickly and has, evolved into something like the Songhouse.
Tripping out hearing you talk about this because it just is like it's like
it's
exactly
really
the
connected
same.
to what you're doing. That's so cool.
It's like it's almost exactly the same.
Wow.
It's the same like core, and the events are different, but they're the same. They all align.
Well, I wouldn't be able to tell either that you just recently started because just like even meeting you at Alley Taps and then following your journey because I've been like. Not like creeping you on Instagram or anything, but I've been like, peeping what you're doing. Yeah. I'm just mind blown right now that you're telling me you haven't been doing it. So that means that what you're doing and your mom's definitely with you, and you're hardcore manifesting this. Like your energy must be out of the roof for you to be able to be where you're at right now.
Well, when it's right, like it happens like that. Yeah. When it's all about like everything that you're saying. It's like all of these pieces have fallen into place exactly as they have because the moment is right for it. Like for you to take this step and be in this place.
Well, I'm going to be cynical now that we know a little bit about you.
Yeah.
Give us two truths and a lie.
Oh, I'm ready. Okay. I really enjoy this question. Because I've been asked this is like one of those icebreaker things
that's
like
the lie.
in school. That's my first one. No, that's true. Okay, my first one. I am ethnically part Chinese. Second one. I can solve a Rubik's Cube. Number 3. When I was in elementary school, I was in a movie. Matter of fact, the star in a movie.
Damn, this is really hard.
In review, ethnically part Chinese. Can solve a Rubik's Cube. Was the star in a movie in elementary school.
I'm gonna say Rubik's Cube.
Wait. Can I change one?
Yeah,
Can I change one? Why did I do that? Okay. Keep the first and last one.
Okay.
Let me change the middle. I have never been outside the U.S. I replaced the Rubik's Cube.
Right.
I'm gonna go with the Chinese one.
That's the lie?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I could see it because you're obviously beautifully mixed, like with lots of things, but I don't know. I feel like the second one out of the U.S. because that's so specific, like that it could be true. And then the star of a movie. I mean, you were a football player and a cello player, obviously like a bright star in Texas. Like I definitely see that being a possibility.
Okay.
I'm gonna say that I'm gonna go stick with my middle answer.
Ooh,
not
the middle
being
one.
outside of the.
That being said, yes, you're correct, Jenna.
Damn it.
Mainly because I don't know why I did that. I've done this before.
You did 3 truths?
I did 3 truths.
That's what I always do.
Oh, so you can solve a Rubik's Cube?
I can solve a Rubik's Cube.
Oh, have you ever heard of the A Rubik's Cube?
No, what's that?
So it's like an advanced version of the Rubik's Cube,
okay.
and it has diagonal versions. I have one at my house, and I've almost solved it.
Wow.
Oh gosh.
It's
okay.
it's different. It's way different harder. Way different harder. It's way different harder, but it's like you have to match up the diagonals with it, and so it's like it's one of the. How fast can you solve it?
I've solved it like right at like 58 seconds.
58 seconds. Okay, we're gonna have to have another video where we post for Gabe solving
now
it.
I gotta practice
bonus content.
Bonus content of him, and you have to do it with your shirt off.
Oh my god. Wow.
Every woman watching this right now is like, I'm feeling her.
The Rubik's Cube
I'm feeling her.
That's wild. All right. Well,
Gerard, our producer's in the back, just like, he's literally...
He's cheering it on.
He's like, this is why I love it.
Yeah, do it.
He's even for it. He's like, shirtless content, Rubik's Cube, run it.
This is what we've been waiting for.
This is what the people want. Okay, so you're kind of talking about what happened with your music and kind of getting to the point of that. So tell us a little bit more. You said you had a few singles. Death of Superman. I'm a huge comic nerd, so I want to know. And you said Upside Down and Mother, which I already kind of know what that third one is a little bit about. Tell us about these singles that you're working on.
So Upside Down and Mother are actually both out. Those are the latest ones I released.
On all platforms?
On all platforms. And then The Death of Superman is the one I'm working on next. And I kind of have a lot of songs that I'm like just trying to find the right way to approach it production-wise. But The Death of Superman is probably one of my favorite songs I've written out here, subject-wise. And it speaks a lot to what I've been learning through living through grief and losing my mom and being disconnected from my brother, of like really embracing what it means to be honestly myself in my emotions. Like growing in my emotional competency is everything, and pushing against and not living this idea of trying to be perfect. And so the song is about dying to my Superman complex. And what that has meant for me in my whole life. So that's the short answer.
Wow, you want to know if are you a comic nerd?
I love comics.
So you know the secret about Clark Kent then?
Oh, actually, I don't.
Don't?
I need to retract my statement. I love it. I don't know everything about
it. Well, so a lot of people don't know. Everyone's
secret?
like, how can they not tell that Clark Kent and Superman are the same guy, right? Like, he just puts on glasses. Those glasses are magic. So when he puts them on, it hides his identity. So that's why Clark Kent, no one knows.
Nobody recognizes
that. Because, like, you watch it and you're like, he literally
way.
looks the same.
Yeah.
Well,
it hides him in who he is. So
I thought,
fun fact.
Well, there you go.
Well,
So,
fun fact about.
yes. Well,
I wanted to backtrack because you mentioned you were on a Bachelor show, and we didn't even touch that. What did you do?
Just
on
dabbled
that?
there. The Bachelor.
We just focused on the fact you were single.
No, again, that's another conversation of things of what that was like. But
I watched Love Island before. Is it like that? Or?
I've never watched the Bachelor show before me going on it, which is kind of funny. But The Bachelor did a pilot music spin-off version of it, to where it's kind of half guys, half girls. We're all musicians, different parts of the U.S., and it was the similar concept of trying to find love in this kind of speed dating kind of environment that The Bachelor is.
So, like, everybody was trying to pair up with each other?
Yeah. And so basically what it ends up getting to is that you get coupled up with another person, a guy with a girl with a guy, of course, and then you perform as a duo in front of celebrity judges, kind of American Idol style. And then that goes into the end to where you win as a couple, and then the winning couple is supposed to go on a tour, and then you release the album. So the couple that won, all great friends of mine, the show dropped right when COVID in April 2020. So they didn't get to go on their tour. So that's another thing. But essentially, that was the concept of the show. And I felt called to jump in it, and it's actually, I tell people, I actually would not be in Nashville connected to the things I am now
stuff
if
like
I didn't go on that show.
That propels you into the next whatever.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah, I mean, that's also a huge opportunity to meet other musicians who was there any love that actually was made from that? Because I feel like those shows, like, and no shame to anyone, I'm sure there have been couples that have found love on them, but I feel like for the most part,
it's difficult.
Nobody really finds love because, like, you can't find love on a TV show where you're constantly documenting it. Like, I feel like love is so organic and so beautiful. Like, you're more likely to find it in a park where you're both feeding birds.
Well, and they're also probably, I imagine, encouraging everybody to play up the drama.
And be a little different than you normally are.
No, that's absolutely accurate. It's one of those things, like, actual relationships did come together. But a lot of it is trying to understand, hey, is this a TV emotion that I'm feeling or a real emotion that's going to last post-show?
Right.
So that's kind of the navigation of it. So, like, the winning couple, they actually had an incredible relationship. Spoiler alert, they're not together anymore, but they're still good friends. And it's just one of those things. So everyone was pretty authentic, which was great because we were all kind of had our identities as musicians.
Well, yeah, and you also have to be pretty authentic if you're creating music together, too.
Yeah, you have to.
You know.
That's real.
So we are playing fun and games right now. We get a little lost while we're doing these interviews because we interview so many amazing, incredible people, and me and Jenna just get so engulfed in the conversation. We sometimes forget when we don't have a physical game in front of us that we are still playing games. It is Jenna's turn to give us two truths and a lie. So smack us down, good girl.
Let's see if I can remember what I came up with. Okay. Despite me knowing nothing about football, I was a cheerleader for 8 years. I was the youngest at the time certified scuba diver.
Youngest, like what? Like ever?
Yeah, ever. Wow. And my dad was sponsored by Vans when he was young as a skateboarder.
I feel like I have an advantage because I know you a little bit better.
Yeah, so you go second.
So okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. My initial impression is the first one. That's the lie.
I'm gonna say the second one is the lie.
The scuba.
Yeah.
So you're right. The second one, but it was my brother.
Oh, your
brother was?
Well, because I know I know you're a cheerleader. I've already talked about that, and then I know the Vans thing because you also worked. I remember you were telling me you worked with
skateboarding stuff. Yeah.
Well, that big band. God, there was a big band that you worked with. We were interviewing. You talked about how they were Vans or something, but yeah. So your brother, that's really cool.
Yeah, incredible stuff.
We both had the scuba dive lie.
Yeah, we did. I didn't even
what
mean
is
to
it
do
about
that.
the scuba stuff?
I don't know, but I want to scuba dive more. One time, fun fact about me, I went to dive with dolphins in Florida. But I was way too young and way too eager, and I think I scared them because, like, the guy on the boat, he was like, okay, yeah, they're going to come by, and they come by in fleets, right? Because dolphins are hella smart.
Right.
And they come by, they all travel together, and they use their sonar to communicate. So they know where everybody is in the ocean. And they were coming by, and he was like, we got to catch him at a good time if you want to see him. And me, I was like, I'm going to ride on one's back. I was like, I'm going to ride on a dolphin's back. So, like, as they're coming, I time it, and I'm like, I run and jump, and I barely missed the fin of the dolphin. But, yeah, I look back, and I'm like, Michelle, why did you do that? But I just was so bent on riding a fin of a dolphin.
I don't blame you.
No, but, okay, so we talked about your singles a little bit. We're winding down to the end of the interview. What can we expect besides Death of the Superman? What more can people kind of expect from
this is the beginning of your career. What's out there?
We already seen your football, and what can we expect coming from you musically?
Yeah, I'm leaning super heavy into making cello my main instrument as a performer, and so just working hard, doing very just different things, singing and playing cello. That's a big part of it. I am collaborating a lot with a lot of people, so that, I guess, tracks that I'm playing cello on, so you can see a bunch of stuff coming out there, and then just playing shows, booking my own stuff. In Nashville, I play a lot of shows in Nashville.
You're going to play one of ours.
Oh, yes, I'd be honored.
We want you to.
I'd be honored.
Are you going to do any music videos? Because I'm thinking, like, the Death of the Superman video. I'm, like, thinking
she
of,
already
like...
has. She's going to be your director.
I'm thinking of, like, an idea of, like, Superman, like it being ripped off, and you, like, you know, like, so many cool things.
She's a screenwriter, so...
That's awesome.
I'm like, I just, like, tomorrow I call him, okay, so this is the vision. With my glasses on. So are you planning on any of that?
100%. That definitely is going to have one. I have one music video for this Upside Down is out, and that has a music video for it.
Really? Yeah.
So can find that. It was on Vivo and it's on YouTube.
Where can everyone to find you online if they want to look you up?
Yeah, if you want to find me on Instagram at the Gabe Baker, TheGabeBaker. That is the same tag for for Facebook, for TikTok, for Twitter, at the Gabe Baker, and then my website, GabeBaker.com. That is just a portal to everything else too.
Right.
Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah, super easy.
Well, we were super excited to sit down with you and learn more about you. Wanted to get some more truths in a lie in there, but the conversation was just way too good. So at least we got all three of us.
I'm trying to think of who the band was that I worked with. Could be CKY. Or Bowling for Soup?
Bowling for Soup. That was it. That was it. Because you mentioned the band's sponsorship thing. Yeah. Because I remember I was like, oh my God, I love them. Back in the Warped Tour days. Oh, forget about it. All right, guys. But once again, I'm Michelle Stone.
I'm Jenna Rose.
This is the Underground Music Collective Fun and Games. Since my producer wants me to do the dance, he's been begging me to do it.
That's the dance.
And this is Mr. Gabe Baker. You watch out for him because he's coming for the scene and he is killing it. But we'll see you guys next time.
What's up, y'all? My name is Gabe Baker, and this is a song of mine called Broken Souls. Souls like the souls on the bottom of your shoes, but also speaking to the souls that we all have. So in short, this is a song about empathy. I saw a man with a sign in his hand and a bottle half full of spare change. Different day, the same light, the same pain in his eyes, the same clothes on his back, they don't change. A lifetime of walking, a lifetime of talking, left holes in his soul he can't mend. We often don't see that we walk the same streets as this man just a sign in our hand. We must all understand that we're all broken souls, dust-covered robes, walking around in nothing but broken souls, headed down roads that often grow cold, always stuck at the corner of hard times and hope. That's just the way that it goes, trying to find a home for our broken souls. Dresses and ties and forevers for life, raising glasses and saying I do's. While I'm on the side, feeling empty inside. Don't know why, can't explain, but I do. A room full of dancing, singing, romance, and a joy that I can't comprehend. We ought to see more, that we dance the same floor, and we're all just the same in the end. Oh, just the same in the end. Yeah, we're all broken souls, dust-covered robes, walking around in nothing but broken souls, headed down roads that often grow cold, always stuck at the corner of hard times and hope. That's just the way that it goes, trying to find a home for our broken souls. Yeah, we're all broken souls, dust-covered robes, walking around in nothing but broken souls, headed down roads that often grow cold, always stuck at the corner of hard times and hope. That's just the way that it goes, trying to find a home for broken souls. Trying to find a home for broken souls. This second song of mine is was the first cello vocal song that I wrote and the first one I released. It's called Upside Down. It's just a happy song. So you guys can listen to this on wherever you like to listen to music. And here we go. I've been flipped upside down, and I ain't going out, I'm hanging around. 'Cause I've been let down, stepped on and looked over. But nothing and no one's ever gonna shut me down. No, I may be upside down, but I'm coming back around. Hey. So I've been tumbling around my life lately. This roller coaster ride makes me sick. Up and down, twist and turn. Some days it seems it'll never end. But best believe I ain't ever gonna quit. 'Cause I've been flipped upside down, and I ain't going out, but I'm hanging around. And I've been let down, stepped on and looked over. But nothing and no one's ever gonna shut me down. No, I may be upside down, but I'm coming back around. Hey. And life may really got you off track. Everything around seems so bleak. Hold on tight, a change is coming. Dawn comes through your darkest night. You'll be better off just don't ever quit. Oh, 'cause I've been flipped upside down, and I ain't going out, I'm hanging around. 'Cause I've been let down, stepped on and looked over. But nothing and no one's ever gonna shut me down. No, I may be upside down, but I'm coming back around. We're singing ooh, 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 ooh. Ooh, 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 ooh. We're singing ooh, 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 ooh. Ooh, 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 ooh. Hey, I'm flipped upside down, but I'm coming back around. I'm flipped upside down, but I'm coming back around. Hey, I'm flipped upside down, but I'm coming back around. Flipped upside down, but I'm coming back around. What's up, y'all? This is my song called Midnight. I was thinking about a girl at midnight, so I wrote about it. Here we go. I've been laying sleeping in on this bed on my own. I've been paying rent for years in this place, still ain't home. You've been slowly seeping into my mental. I've been trying to fill this hole in my heart all along. 'Cause I've been thinking about you at midnight, dancing circles with you in my mind, yeah. Oh, take away this lonely heart tonight, 'cause I've been thinking about you at midnight, and it feels so right. I've been dreaming, sleeping in on this bed about your love, hey. I've been saving all my coins all my life, got enough, gonna spend on you. You've been quickly creeping into my mental. I've been waiting all my life for these feels all along, 'cause I've been thinking about you at midnight, oh, at midnight, dancing circles with you in my mind, yeah. Oh, take away this lonely heart tonight, 'cause I've been thinking about you at midnight, oh, and it feels so right, 'cause I've never felt this way, but then I found you. Well, I've never felt this way, but then I found you, and you make me feel this way. Girl, I want you all night, 'cause I've been thinking about you at midnight, oh, at midnight, dancing circles with you in my mind. Oh, take away this lonely heart tonight, ooh, 'cause I've been thinking about you at midnight, and it feels so good, 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 good. Yeah, it feels so good, 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 good. Oh, it feels so good.